Yeah, I mean, certainly, Washington's a good team, and they've had the lead in the fourth quarter in almost every game that they've played. They play hard. They're selfless. They move the ball. They cut hard. They play well together, and they kept coming at us. And at times we had breakdowns on the defensive end in our coverages. Their physicality, I felt like, on their defensive end against us took us out of our flow, particularly in the second half.
Obviously, you guys needed to adjust without Caitlin, too. Is there anything you could pinpoint with the offensive issues today?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, not having any points in transition, is one that's obvious. I mean, Caitlin is really good at finding rim runners, getting the ball up the floor. That's one. We got to be better there. Not relying so heavily on dribble handoffs and on-ball screens. And I know we talked about this pregame, feeling comfortable getting to our off-ball actions. I mean, that's still a growth process for us and a growth edge for us. You can see when physicality happens or defensive pressure picks up, it's like we revert to some old habits, settling for one-on-one, settling for jump shots, settling for dribble handoffs, instead of trusting the process of moving the ball and of playing in some off-ball actions. And on nights that we don't hit shots and we struggled from the floor, and you got to give their defense a lot of credit for that. They kept us uncomfortable. They kept pressuring us. We've got to be able to rely on our defense. And there were times where it was really good, and there are times where it was really good, and then we didn't finish the play and we gave up an offensive rebound, or we were really good for 22 seconds and not in the last 2 seconds. But it takes being really good all the time, and it takes finishing plays.
Aaliyah was 4 or 5 too, but she seemed to not get as many touches as she usually did. Was that defense from the Mystics, kind of Caitlin not being out there as well, or just how can you get her more involved? Yeah,
I think probably a combination. Certainly she gets so many of her touches in the two-man game with Caitlin on the floor, and it looks different now without Caitlin on the floor. Making it a point of contention to get her touches on the block as much as in the two-man. I thought they did a really good job of changing bodies every couple of minutes and being physical with her and forcing her to defend on the other end as well with their post players. And we've got to be better as coaches of trying to get her in positions to be successful.